I've got another Forex set up for you guys today. Hang out for a few minutes and I'll show it to you. Hi, this is Tim from TradingStrategyGuides.com. Today's trade pick is an ascending triangle on the Australian dollar Canadian dollar Forex pair, and we'll take a look at that. But first, we've got some active trades to check out, and later on Tim's trading maxim, and also some active dream trades. Happy Monday, guys. Remember to click the subscribe button and hit the bell so you don't miss any of these great trade setups. Let's take a look at our active trades. As I mentioned Friday, Palladium pushed way down close to my stop, but did not hit it. So I moved the stop up to 22.9207, locking in 299.36 per contract. This thing is doing pretty well, isn't it? Google pushed down pretty hard on Friday, right down here. Retreated just a little bit from that, but still pretty bearish looking right there. We got profit on the first half and the stop is set at break even right here, locking in 0 on the second half. Just waiting for this parabolic SAR to get down below the break even stop to start trailing our stops. I mentioned that the USD yen could give us a weekly trigger last week, but it didn't happen. So watch for it on Friday of this week. So Bank of America chickened out on the break on Thursday, and on Friday it gapped down and pushed way up here back into the bear flag, and then it closed right down here below the bear flag. So that was kind of weird. Anyway, I sold it 25.21. My stop is 26.22. First target is 24.52. When it hits this, we'll take half off for profit, move the stop down to break even, and then we'll wait for the parabolic SAR to get down there to follow stops. And that's all the active trades I've got to look at today. Let's take a look at today's trade pick. The Australian dollar Canadian dollar currency pair has this nice ascending triangle on it since back here in August. An ascending triangle consists of a strong resistance level like this one here at 96.70, with several historical touches or approaches of the line, and a series of higher lows as fewer and fewer traders are thinking about taking this short. Each time the price gets back up to the resistance level, it chips away at sell orders until it finally breaks through, and it should break out of the pattern with strong momentum. The ascending triangle is a bullish pattern, and I will only take a buy signal on it. And a good consolidation pattern like this should be accompanied by a decline in volume and volatility like you see here. I measure the volatility using the average true range, or ATR, which shows the average length of the last 14 candles. One thing I want you to notice here is that we've got this nice decline right to here, and then it popped just a little bit, and that's okay because it continued the decline after the pop. So I've marked that, just so you understood, I've marked that with 2 different arrows. It's okay to see this sort of thing. It's okay to see this sort of thing right here. We still have an overall decline. The moving average is declining and so on. And here's our trade plan. We're going to buy a daily candle close above the triangle or above the 96.70 level. On the breaking candle, to enter a full-size position, we want to see a volume bar reach up here to at least the volume average. If it doesn't quite reach the average but does reach 75% of the average, I'll take a half-size position to reduce risk. You can calculate that percentage by dividing this volume number by this volume average. You should get at least 0.75. If you don't, then I suggest you stand aside on the trade. Your stop loss will be 1.5 times the ATR. your first target will be 1 times the ATR. So when this thing breaks up here like this, just ahead of the close, say 15 minutes or so, you will set up your buy order. You'll look down here at the ATR, multiply that by 1.5, and you'll measure that distance down here for your stop loss. You'll measure 1 ATR up here for your first target. And after you enter this trade, if it closes back inside the triangle, we're going to take our loss right then and not wait for it to hit the stop loss. These breakouts should be explosive and hit our target fairly quickly. And if the momentum goes away, we're going to shut this trade down without taking a full stop if possible. When the price hits our first target, we'll close half the position for profit and set the stop loss to break even on the remainder, and then we'll follow the stops as the price moves in our direction until the market takes us out. Now typically I do this with 2 positions. The first position has a stop loss and a take profit. That one will close automatically when the first target is hit. And the second position will only have a stop loss, and that's the position that will be allowed to run. When the first target is hit, we'll manually move the stop loss to break even on the second position. I will only risk about 2% of my account on each trade. And that's today's setup on the Australian dollar Canadian dollar Forex pair. Remember, my intent is to tell you how I manage these trades. If you've already got a good trade management plan, use it. You have to understand your own mind to find the best strategies for your trading. And speaking of understanding your own mind, that is my intent for the trading maxims. The maxims help me control my emotional impulses and keep me on a straight and narrow path. A maxim is a general truth, fundamental principle, rule of conduct, or a proverbial saying. Purpose of my maxims is to motivate me to discipline in trading as well as other areas of my life. I suggest you start your own list of maxims, things that you can say to yourself while you're trading or doing life to make sure that you always do the right thing. Feel free to borrow from my list. And today, Tim's trading maxim number 54. Progress is a trajectory, not just a destination. And this is a quote from Webb Smith. Webb Smith is a guy that actually spans 2 of my personal disciplines. He's a fitness guy and an investor. Anyway, I saw this quote in one of my CrossFit newsletters. It's actually only part of the quote, but I figured it was the important part of the quote for the purpose of my maxims. Just remember that you're never going to arrive. Once you reach the place in your life when you feel like you've arrived, you're just going to stagnate there if you don't continue to move forward. You should always keep that attitude and always continue to move forward. And remember our Australian dollar Canadian dollar trade plan for today. We're going to buy a daily candle close above the triangle or above 96.70. If the volume is not quite average, go half size as long as it's at least 75% of the average. Your stop loss is 1.5 times the ATR and your first target is 1 times the ATR. And if you need more details about trade management, look for the video in the description box below. Be sure to sign up for my Trading Picks email list to get early notification of these picks. The link is in the description box as well. If you're following the Dream Trade setups from my Wednesday's videos, it looks like the AUB came down really close to our first target last week. Still waiting for it to hit here. It is definitely on sideways movement here. I'm not going to put up with this much longer. I may just close this thing and use this money for another investment or some such thing. We'll see how this goes. If it does, however, hit the first target of 21.77, we'll pull this stop down to break even and see how long this thing will run. And last Wednesday's dream trade didn't go anywhere until Friday. And it broke out big time with lots of volume on Friday. So I bought that thing. I'm in at 17.23. My first target is 18.09. Stop loss is 16.37. We'll see how it does this week. Again, if this thing hits our first target, I will move this stop up to break even, and then we'll follow the stops as it moves ahead. And don't miss the Dream Trades segment on Wednesday's videos, where I explain all about the dream trades. And click the link below if you need to find out more about it right away. Be sure to come back to Trading Strategy Guide's YouTube channel every week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time for my new videos. Don't hesitate to ask any questions you may have. Remember, the only stupid question is the unasked one. Don't miss the next installment of the Trading Education series on Wednesday, when we'll be talking about MetaTrader's Chart Properties dialog. If this video helped you, click the like below. Subscribe and hit the bell if you want to be notified of our videos in the future. Have a great week.